Good morning. Let's start the daily discussion. The first topic is Indo-Russia bilateral relation. Modi-Putin discuss special strategic ties and the future roadmap. The Indian Prime Minister and the Russian President had a good conversation on various regional and global issues, including Russia's presidency of the BRICS in 2022. BRICS is the association of 5 countries like Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. 6 more countries will join it. Okay, so in 2024, the summit was hosted in Russia. They discussed a range of aspects related to the special and privileged strategic partnership between the two countries like India and Russia. So, since the independence of the country, India, so both have a very good relationship and both share a lot of domain from space to defense. So, and this bilateral 2+2 dialogue mechanism is the mechanism through which both interact very closely. So, Russia has been a long-standing and time-tested partner for India, and development of Indo-Russian relations has been a key pillar of India's foreign policy, because Russia and India, it is called that they are tested friends. Okay, Russia and India are the tested friends. That means, so time has tested the friendship between Russia and India, and both are able to endure the relationship. Okay, and this has been tested time and again, even in the period of when the USSR or former Soviet Union disintegrated. Been during that period, also the relationship between the two was also maintained to some extent, and immediately after Russian resurgence. Okay, so the relationship again gain new momentum, and it is very well told that even during the present crisis in Russia, India stood with Russia by permitting the import of huge amount of oil, okay, from Russia, when the global community, including American, European Union, the major, especially European Union, the major buyer of Indian energy, so Russian energy, has imposed ban on import from India, from Russia, but India is the country which is importing huge amount of petroleum from India, and this is against the international sanction. This is where the friendship has again been told that India and Russian friendship is a friendship of which has been tested over time. Okay. Okay, so Russia has been a long-standing and time-tested friend, partner for India, and development of the Indo-Russian relation has been a key pillar of Indian foreign policy. Since the signing of the Declaration on India-Russia Strategic Partnership in the year 2000, India-Russia ties have acquired a qualitatively new character with enhanced levels of cooperation in almost all areas of the bilateral relationship. During the visit of the Russian President to India in 2010, the strategic partnership was elevated to the level of special and privileged strategic partnership. India and Russia have upgraded their strategic partnership to special and privileged strategic partnership. During the recent visit to Russia, the Indian Foreign Minister said that India-Russia relations remain very steady, very strong, and mutually beneficial, and are based on strategic convergence and geopolitical interest. Different area of cooperation in India and Russia bilateral relation. The India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission has two divisions: the Trade, Economic and first is the trade, economic and scientific, trade, economic, scientific, technological and cultural cooperation, and the second is the military to military technical cooperation. So two divisions. Okay, the Inter-Russia Intergovernmental Commission has two different divisions. The first is the trade, economic, scientific, technological and cultural cooperation division, and the military and military technical cooperation division. In 2021, a new dimension was added with the first 2+2 dialogue, foreign and defense ministry of both the sides taking place. So since 2021, the 2+2 dialogue between the foreign ministry and the defense ministry from both the sides are being held. So like we have conducted with Japan, with USA, this is popularly known as the 2+2 dialogue. So remember this. So 2+2 dialogue is held between India and Russia. This is popularly known as the 2+2 dialogue. So this is a mechanism in which the foreign and defense ministers from both the country, so with the foreign ministry and the defense minister, both the country, they interact regularly on important issue in the domain of foreign and defense relation between the two sides. Both countries remain in touch at multilateral engagement as well. For example, they met on sideline of the East Asian Summit in Jakarta, BRICS in South Africa, SCO in Goa hosted by India, and the G20 in New Delhi in 2023. Okay, so in April December 2022, the bilateral trade reached an all-time high of 45 billion with a trade deficit of 35 billion in Russia's favor. That means trade deficit, okay, of 35 billion in Russia's favor. The trade was favorable to Russia because India imported huge amount of petroleum oil from Russia. Major item of export from India include pharmaceuticals, organic chemicals, electrical machineries. Okay, these are the major import from India, like pharmaceuticals, organic chemicals, electrical machinery, and mechanical appliances, iron and steel. Major item of import from Russia includes oil and petroleum products, fertilizer, mineral resources, precious stones and metals, vegetable oil, etc. They are imported from Russia to India. Defense and security cooperation. India has long-standing and wide-ranging cooperation with Russia in the field of defense and is guided by the agreement on the program for military technical cooperation. The agreement for 2021 to 31 was signed during the inaugural meeting of India-Russia 22+2 dialogue, which was held in Delhi in 2021. So in 2021, the first 2+2 dialogue between the two countries was launched between the defense and the foreign ministry of both the countries. The bilateral project include the supply of S-400 licensed production of T-90 tanks and Sukhoi 30 Mk1, supply of MiG-29 and the combo helicopters, production of AK-203 rifles in India and the BrahMos missile in India. So these are what are being signed in the two countries for joint production, and Russia handed over the technology to India for production in India. That is the major domain of cooperation, because defense is the major area where India and Russia cooperation is very wider. Then science and technology cooperation. After India's independence, the erstwhile Soviet Union assistance was crucial to the establishment of the Vila steel plant. So India's like the Uralkala steel plant established, the Germany help, South Germany West Germany's help. Similarly, so Russia helped in the establishment of the Vila steel plant in India. So the Vila steel plant was established in India with the help of Russia. Today, India and Russia work together in basic science, material science, mathematics, and cutting edge area like India's manned spaceflight program, the Gaganyaan, nanotechnology, quantum computing, etc. India's only nuclear power plant, so built with foreign help, is located at the Kundalkulam in Tamil Nadu, where Russia has supplied two mega reactors of 1000 megawatt each to India, and they became functional. The Kundalkulam nuclear power plant is the biggest nuclear power plant of India with the biggest reactor, the high capacity reactor of 1000 megawatt, and two such big mega reactors have been established in Kundalkulam or at Kundalkulam in Tamil Nadu with the assistance of Russia. Okay, education is a major source for Indian population in Russia. As per most recent data, there are around 25,000 Indian nationals, of which a majority are Indian students studying in medicine in Russia. So most of the students who went to carry on education in Russia, they carry on medical education, and so that is where, because so apart from Ukraine, so Indian students so can pursue their career in medicine in Russia. Okay. Cultural cooperation. In recent time, Indian cinema has begun to make a gradual comeback with more frequent film screening across Russia. Indian films are very popular in Russia, and gradually after the recovery of Russian economy, so Indian movies are regularly screened in Russia. Yoga is immensely popular across Russia, as well as very enthusiastic and large gathering of participants each year on International Yoga Day from Russia. So they are participating in the yoga event. And some recent challenges of Indo-Russia tie. India and Russia have an annual summit at the leaders level, where the Indian Prime Minister and the Russian President visit each other's country every alternate year. So, however, after the war with Ukraine broke out, the Indian Prime Minister did not travel to Russia for the annual summit in 2022, and the Putin could not come for the G20 summit in Delhi in September 2023. So, the summit is not being held for the last 3 years. The last summit was held in 2021, where at New Delhi, where Putin visited India and attended the summit. The Indo-Russian bilateral summit was hosted by India at New Delhi, and during that period, the Russian president visited India and attended the summit. New summary regarding Modi-Putin discussion on bilateral trade, the recent discussion between the two sides. The phone call between the two leaders came a day after a meeting of the National Security Advisors of almost 80 countries in Davos to discuss a peace formula for Ukraine. In a post on X, Modi said he and Putin also agreed to chalk out a roadmap for future initiatives and expressed interest in future intensifying mutually beneficial bilateral ties. Both leaders emphasized their readiness to closely coordinate their approaches to the BRICS agenda. So, adding that India intends to help implement the goal and objective of the Russian chairmanship in 2024, because this year the BRICS, Russia will be the chairman of BRICS, and India agreed to what Russia aims to, how it aims to carry on the BRICS summit. The leader also touched on several other international issues, including the situation around Ukraine. During his conversation with Putin, Modi said that it is not a time of war. So, since the very beginning, Modi has been advocated that war is not the solution and this is not the time for war, rather for development. The next topic is NITI-Aayog's discussion paper, Multidimensional Poverty in India since 2005-6. Recently, the NITI-Aayog of India has published a report on the Multidimensional Poverty Index. Okay, so this is published by the NITI-Aayog regularly, and okay, so as per the NITI-Aayog's discussion paper, multinational poverty in India since 2005-6, 24.82 crore Indians crore people escaped multidimensional poverty in India since 2005-6 in the last 9 years. Okay, this is a very big achievement. That means around 24.82 crore people they escaped from the multidimensional poverty index. The National Multidimensional Poverty Index by the NITI measures the multidimensional poverty in India. What is multidimensional poverty? Okay, so a person who is poor can suffer multiple disadvantage at the same time. For example, they may have poor health or malnutrition, a lack of clean water or electricity, poor quality of work, or little schooling. Okay, focus on one factor alone, such as income, is not enough to capture the true reality of poverty. Another factor taken into consideration, multidimensional poverty is a measure of poverty that captures deprivation in education and access to basic infrastructure in addition to income or consumption. Okay, income and consumption at the 2.15 dollar international poverty line as per the World Bank. World Bank defines the international poverty line at 2.15 dollar in 2017 purchasing power parity term Delhi to measure monetary value. Okay, so it is 2.15 dollar per head per day. Then National Multinational Poverty Index, the Multinational Poverty Index has been used by the United Nations Development Program in its flagship human development reports in 2010. Okay, so UNDP uses multidimensional poverty index. In this context, NITI Aayog has published the first edition of the National Multidimensional Poverty Index for India in 2021. Purpose: a national multidimensional poverty index. Okay, national multidimensional poverty index. Statistics for a country is tailored to the national priority, and therefore countries choose their own set of dimensions, indicators, weights and cutoff according to their plans and context. The report presents an in-depth analysis of the headcount ratio and intensity of multidimensional poverty at the national, state, union territory and the district levels. The first report is based on the reference period 2015-16 of the National Family Health Survey, fourth round of the National Family Survey conducted in 2015-16 financial year. The MPI parameters of methodology, the index is based on Alkir-Foster methodology and has three equally weighted dimensions. First is health, so first is health, second is education, third is standard of living. Okay, and they have been further, the health has been called the nutrition, child and adolescent mortality and the maternal health. Then education comes years of schooling, school attendance, and standard of living depends upon the cooking fuel, sanitation, drinking water, housing, electricity, assets and bank account. So maximum focus is on the third one, standard of living, which has 7 parameters. Okay, the three dimensions are prepared by 12 indicators as in the figure. So 3 in the health, 2 in the education and 7 in the standard of living. The index is calculated first setting the deprivation. For example, so the index is calculated by first setting the deprivation. Okay, so how it is done? First by setting the deprivation cutoff for each indicator, the level of achievement considered normatively sufficient for an individual to be considered not deprived in any indicator. So how far the individual is deprived from the basic requirements. For example, the individual has completed at least 6 years of schooling. Such a cutoff would be applied to determine whether the individual deprived in each indicator or not. He must be able to complete 6 years of schooling. Weightage are attached to each indicator, and a composite matrix is then used to calculate the index. This is a very in-depth one. Key highlights. So a significant decline in multidimensional poverty in India from 29.17% in 2013-14 to 11.28% in 22-23, reduction of 17.89 percentage point in multidimensional poverty index. Uttar Pradesh topped the list with 5.94 crore people escaping poverty, followed by Bihar at 3.77 crore and Madhya Pradesh by 2.30 crore. India is likely to achieve the SDG goal 1.2, reducing multidimensional poverty by at least half well before the 2030 deadline, because the United Nations General Assembly, it has highlighted about reducing the that in the SDG or Sustainable Development Goal. So it has been told that so India has to reduce poverty, because no poverty is the first priority under the Sustainable Development Goal. And government has a goal. Okay, so initiative like the so government has a goal to bring down multidimensional poverty to below 1%. So initiative like the Poshan Abhiyan and the Anemia Mukt Bharat have significantly enhance access to healthcare facility in India among the people who are suffering from this multidimensional poverty index. Okay, initially Poshan Abhiyan Anemia Mukt Bharat have significantly enhanced access to healthcare facilities, leading to a substantial decrease in efficiency. So government of India had launched these programs like the Poshan Abhiyan, where the nutritional level deficiency is taken care of. Then the Anemia Mukt Bharat, where the that anemic because due to the poor health condition, so they suffer from anemia, that bloodless condition, and so this is taken care of because government of India has launched a program like the Poshan Abhiyan and Anemia Mukt Bharat, operating one of the world's largest food security program, the Targeted Public Distribution System (PDS). PDS is India's biggest or world's biggest food security program. Okay, and this gives the scope. Okay, to go for providing the basic food grain that no one will die in hunger in the country like India. That is government initiative that no one in the country, okay, so is going to bed in an empty stomach. Okay, so operating one of the world's largest food security, the National Food Security Act in 2013 cover 81.31. Okay, okay. So it covers 81.35 crore beneficiary, providing progress to the rural urban population. And right now, under the Pradhan Mantri this National Food Security Act, this food grain is provided at a highly subsidized rate. But recently, the government has made it free, and right now, 81.35 crore beneficiary are getting food grain free of cost. Fine. So this program was declared since the COVID period, and right now government is continuing this. This 81.35 crore beneficiary are getting the food grain every month 5 kg per head free of cost. That Pradhan Mantri Anna Yojana. Okay. Then the Komal tribes, the central government will extend the basic facilities. Okay, the central government will extend basic facilities to the endangered Kollam tribe under the Janjati Adivasi Nyaya Mahabhijan with a focus on health and education. Government of India has decided to extend this facility to the tribal people. Fine. The Kollam tribes, also known as the Kolamboli, Kulme, and the Kolmi, occupy a major portion of Madhya Pradesh. The main concern concentration of this tribe is in the plains and in the mountainous region. These tribal groups are reckoned as scheduled tribes and part of the Madhya Pradesh, reside in some parts of Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh also. Okay, they are listed as particularly vulnerable tribal group (PBTG) in the state of Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh. So they are the PBTG. Okay, in Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh, so they are branded as PBTG or particularly vulnerable tribal group. Okay, and recently government has launched the mega program for the PBTG, and they are going to get the benefit out of this central government's program on the PM Janman scheme. Okay, PM Janman scheme is for the particularly vulnerable tribal group people. History: around the 12th century, the Kollam served as priest of the god, representing some of their important gods. It is generally accepted that the Kollam descended from the original population in the area. Since they now live near the god, they have adopted much of their god lifestyle. The Kollam people are divided into different clans like the Chal, Divi, Pechdeva, Sachdeva, and the Satdeva. Marriages within the same clan are not permissible. The Kollam use the name of their clan as their surnames. Their society is patriarchal, means father base. Okay, patrilineal, meaning that the lines of descent is destined to the males, not the female, not the matrilineal, rather patrilineal. The Kollam are mainly farmers and forest workers. In times past, they use shifting cultivation on the hill slope. Today, they primarily live in the settled farmers and use plow cultivation, the traditional one. They don't go for mechanization. They speak a Dravidian language called the Kolami, and nearly all of the adults spoke the Marathi, Telugu, or the Gondi language. They also speak together other language like the Marathi, Telugu, or the Gondi. For writing, this Kolma tribal community used the famous Devanagari script for writing. Then the Pakka Paga Hornbill Festival, the Paki Paga, the 9th edition of the Paki Paga Hornbill Festival, the PPHF, the state festival of Arunachal Pradesh, will take place at the Sejosa in the Pake Kesang district from January 18 to 2024. Okay, so about the Pake Paga Hornbill Festival. The aim is to recognize the role played by the Niasi tribal group in conserving hornbill in Pake Paga tigers, so they are able to preserve them in the particular tiger reserve. So other objectives were to raise alternative sources of income for the region and to create awareness in the rest of India about the wonders of the PRT and its surrounding tiger reserve and its surrounding areas. This year, the festival theme is Domto, Pagaham Domto. It translates to let our hornbills remain in the Nishi language. This year's festival aims to underscore the critical need for preserving these iconic birds, hornbills. They are very iconic, very colorful birds. So about the Pake Paga Tiger Reserve, the Paki Tiger Reserve is located in the eastern Kamlang district of Arunachal Pradesh. It is surrounded by the Tenga Reserve Forest on the north, the Doimora Reserve Forest on the west, the Namiri National Park and the Tiger Reserve of Assam in the south. The landscape has high species diversity. Okay, high species diversity and endemic as it forms the transitional zone between the Indian and the Malaya ecoregions. It is situated north of the river Brahmaputra in the transition zone between the Assam plains and the hill forest of Arunachal Pradesh. Vegetation: it consists of tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. The Polythermia simiarum, Petrosermama, Arciphelonium, Sterulia alata, the Stetosarum and the Chelolidis, so the bamboo occur in the area. The fauna includes tiger, elephant. Okay, so the fauna includes tiger, elephant, predator like leopard and the clouded leopard, etc. That means this forest has wider flora and fauna reserve. Then the E-Shakti application. Recently, the Minister of State, independent charge of the Minister of Statistics and Program Implementation, launched the MP-LAD's E-Shakti mobile application. So, MP-LAD is a scheme by Government of India, the Member of Parliament, Local Area Development Fund, and under this, the MP get 5 crore rupees per annum for spending in the development of the local area. So, each MP, whether the Rajya Sabha MP or Lok Sabha MP, or elected MP or nominated MP, they get 5 crore per annum for development of the local area. Okay, and that is the MP-LAD fund. The lunch for revised fund flow procedure under the members of parliament local area development scheme or the MP-led scheme. It will bring forth a pyramid myriad of benefits. Myriad of benefits. Okay, revolutionizing the way members of parliament engage with and manage development projects in their constituencies. It would offer convenience and accessibility, allowing MP to propose, track and oversee the project at their fingertips, because through this application MPs will be able to know the things digitally and get all the information regarding that. So the real-time access enhances decision making process, enabling swift response to emerging needs. Again. କ୍ଲାସ୍ରେ ଅଛି ଟିକେ କରିବା କଥା ଦୁଇଟା ବେଳେ Okay, so this real-time access enhances decision-making process, enabling swift response to emerging. Okay, emerging needs or issues. The fund released under the scheme are non-lapsable. That means they will not lapse. If this year's fund remain unused, so they will continue for the next year. It is not going to lapse with the end of the financial year. So the entitlement of funds not released in a particular year is carried forward to the subsequent year, subjective to eligibility. At present, the annual entitlement per MP is 5 crore rupees for every MP, whether Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, elected or nominated. The role of the members of parliament is limited to recommend works. Thereafter, it is responsibility of the district authority, like the district collector, to sanction, execute and complete the work recommended within the stipulated time period. Okay. The elected Lok Sabha member can recommend works in their respective constituency. There is a condition where they can spend the amount. The elected Lok Sabha MP can spend the amount in their own constituency. And the elected members of Rajya Sabha can recommend works anywhere in the state from which they are elected, because so we have Rajya Sabha MP, and Rajya Sabha MPs are elected from a particular state, and the MPs of Rajya Sabha, so they can recommend the work anywhere from the state from where they are elected. The nominated members can recommend work from implementation anywhere in the country, because they are nominated, so they can recommend for the work anywhere in the country. MP-led work can be implemented in area affected by natural calamity like flood, cyclone, hailstorm, avalanche, cloudburst. Okay. Pest attack, landslide, tornado, earthquake, drought, tsunami, fire and biological, chemical, radiological hazards, etc. The condition has been mentioned where the MP can allocate the fund for the work. Then in order to accord special attention to the development of area inhabited by the scheduled caste, they can spend anywhere in the country. In order to accord special attention to the development of area in order the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes, 15% of the MP-led funds are to be utilized for area inhabited by the SC population, and 7.5% of the area inhabited by the ST population, because these areas inhabited by the SC and STs need special attention because they are the backward areas. Then African dream harp, a dying traditional game given a fresh leech. Okay, so a dying traditional game given a fresh lease of life at the ongoing Kabri Young Festival in Central Assam's Kabri Anglong district was fueled a drive for conserving a creeper known as the African dream harp. It is a creeper plant. So a perennial climber vine that is used by the African traditional healers to induce vivid dreams that enable them to communicate effectively with their ancestors. Common names: the giant sea bean, African dream harp, the snuffbox, and the Ethenda ready. Distribution and habitat: it is indigenous to Africa, Asia, Australia, and the Madagascar. It grows in tropical lowlands along the coastline and river banks, in woodlands, thickets, and the riverine. Uh, okay, so common names. Okay, distribution: it is indigenous to Africa, Asia, Australia. Okay, and is grown in tropical lowlands along the coastline and river banks, in woodland, thicket, and the riverine rainforest. Uses it a paste made from the leaves. A paste made from the leaves, bark, and root is used to clean wounds, treat burns, and heal jaundice in children. Tea made from the whole plant is used to improve blood circulation. Okay, in the brain and heal the after effects of a stroke. Okay, the tea made from the whole plant is used to improve blood circulation in the brain and heal the after effects of a stroke. The bark is used to treat diarrhea, dysentery, and parasitic infection. This creeper yield a dark brown and a spherical seed, almost the size of a human patella or kneecap, used to play hambi, kept to associated with the origin of the Kabri community. Karbi community. What is the hambi kapathu? It is also known as the Simrit in some part of the Capri Anglon area. Is played on the three rectangular courts by two teams comprising three members each. Each member of a team has to play hambi or a glazed pepper seed vertical on the midpoint of the boundary line, or his coat for a player of the rival team to hit with his humby. Humby Kepathu, whose name is derived from the first syllables of the name of the Kabri sister brother duo, is a male only game like other traditional Kabri games such as the Holung, spinning top, the Tenton, Langvek, Tatsumi, and the Kendongang, bamboo slit race. In the Guru Gobind Singh Jayanti on the Prakash Parva of the 10th Guru is celebrated on January 17 this year. So he was the 10th. Okay, so he was the 10th and the last human guru of the Sikh. So see the 10th Sikh Guru. Okay, so and born as Gobind Rai in December 1666 in Patna, Bihar. Guru Gobind Singh was the son of the 9th Guru of Sikhism, Guru Tegh Bahadur. He became uh, Okay, he became the spiritual and temporal leader of the Sikh on November 11th, 1675 at the age of 9, following the martyrdom of his father, Guru Tegh Bahadur, at the hands of the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb in 1675. He was renowned as a warrior, a poet, and a prophet. He is fondly remembered by Sikh as the defender of the faith and a champion of the equality and justice. Among his notable contributions to Sikhism and the founding of the Sikh warrior community called the Khalsa. He founded the Khalsa. Khalsa is the warrior community. Include the 5 cage among the Sikh, 5 articles of faith that Khalsa Sikhs wear at all times. These are the kesa, they must uncut hair, kanga, a wooden comb, kora, an iron steel bracelet worn on the wrist, kripan, a sword, and a kachra, short breeches. Throughout his life, he engaged in numerous. Okay, so so throughout his life he engaged in numerous battles against the Mughal Empire and their allies, totaling 21 battles. Some of the notable battles include the Battle of the Bhangani, the Battle of Naudun, the Battle of Anandapur, the Battle of Champur, the Battle of Muksar, and the Battle of Khindana. He authored numerous literary work in various languages. Among his famous work are the Jipsai, the Tab Prasad Sabidya, and the Benti Chokai. He further codified Sikh law, wrote martial poetry and music. He was the reputed author of the Sikh work called the Dasam Granth, or the 10th volume, was written by him. Guru Gobind Singh proclaimed that he was the last of the personal guru. From that point forward, the Sikh Guru was to be the holy book, the Guru Granth Sahib. He was assassinated in 1708 at the age of 41. His birth anniversary is called the Guru Gobind Singh Jayanti, and his death anniversary is called the Guru Gadi Divas, because from him onward he decided that that scripture, the Granth Sahib, will be the Guru of the Sikh, now any individual. Then coming to the question, mention the challenges that India might witness in decarbonizing its power sector. Also suggest the steps that needed to be taken to ensure a smooth transition towards clean energy. According to report titled Global Carbon Budget, India continue. Okay, India continue to be the 4th largest global emitter. Okay, after China 31%, US 14%, European Union in the 4th one. As India coal-based thermal power sector is responsible for 1/3 of India's greenhouse gas emission, it needs to be decarbonize its power sector in order to realize the idea of net zero emission, because India has declared that by 2050 it will be able to achieve net zero emission by 50%, and by 2070 it will be fully a net zero emitter country. So grid reliability, what are the challenges? Solar and wind energy alone will not suffice to provide reliable and affordable energy for everyone. at the time of the day and the weather conditions continuously affect the production of power. This production of renewable energy can be very high at some point of time and low under other conditions. Therefore, the power generated when it is needed may not be sufficient or may not match the demand. Okay, so grid connectivity is the biggest challenge. Geopolitical risk. According to the International Energy Agency, the demand for critical minerals like lithium, nickel, and rare earth elements required for clean energy production technology likely to increase by 3.5x by 20 means 3.5 times by 2030. This jump implies that within a short time span, new mines and processing facility need to be developed in China, Indonesia, Africa, and South America, which control 50 to 100% of the current global extraction and processing of the minerals like the lithium, like lithium, nickel, and rare earth elements. Lack of adequate finance. Electricity production, which is by far the largest source of carbon emission, accounts for 5.2% of outstanding credit, but only 17.5% of this lending goes to renewables. So most of them are for the traditional energy like the coal-based power plants. Moreover, there is a shortage of experts in India's financial institution who have the expertise to appropriately advise the institution on such transition from the fossil fuel to renewable energy power generation. High dependence on coal. Coal-fired power plants account for nearly 50% of the country's electricity generation. The analysts have pointed out that the country will phase out coal only when it is sure the transition will not cause power disruptions, with renewable energy storage capacity currently still weak and expensive. Underutilization. Renewable energy rich state, for instance, even the top performer Karnataka, had utilized only 11% of its total renewable energy potential. On account of issues such as land conflict, technology upgrades, and lack of transmission infrastructure, etc. Also, the state are focusing on large-scale renewable power project, but are ignoring other possibility viable options such as rooftop solar, small hydropower plants, etc. Because where it is also generated in more, they have not been majority to the contribution. Way forward, use of the smart grids, AI-driven technology could forecast energy data for power production and load. This enables optimal grid management by the use of analytics. This way, the equipment's health is closely monitored. Enhancing global mineral security. Council on Energy, Environment and Water has argued that the G20 group of nations should support investment in development of new exploration and mining technology and should examine the creation of strategic stockpile of critical minerals. Furthermore, it should invest in focused R&D efforts to improve existing technology from a resource efficient perspective. Okay, from the resource efficiency perspective, adequate finance. Center-owned financial institutions such as the Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency Limited and the Power Finance Corporation should provide adequate finance in order to ensure smooth transition towards renewable energy. So they should come forward to provide the finance. Improving storage infrastructure. In order to reduce dependence on coal, India need to invest in renewable energy storage technology. Okay, so energy storage technology. For this, apart from immobile lithium-ion battery, we need to promote the use of moving battery involving energy storage in electric vehicles using the V2G technology and virtual transmission technology that come into play concerning specially configured battery systems. Okay, the battery swapping system. Address underutilization. In order to enhance the state's clean energy transition, a robust transmission infrastructure needs to be put in place. Apart from the focusing on large-scale projects, the state should also adopt other viable options like the rooftop, solar, small hydro plants, etc. Consider the following pairs: military exercise participating country, the Atheo India with Thailand, Silvex India with USA, and the nomadic elephant with Mongolia. All the three options are correct here. Then question 2, invasive species specialist group that develops global invasive species database belong to which of the following organization? They belong to International Union of Conservation of Nature, IUCN. Which of the following is the objective of the operation Sarva Shakti launched by the Indian Army? It was launched to counter Pakistan attempt to revive the regime in Jammu and Kashmir. D. Which of the following statement discover transient black holes by detecting their rare X-ray flares? Locate the electromagnetic source of gravitational waves. Study X-ray transient like gamma ray burst, supernova, and flares from other stars. How many of these are the objective of the Einstein probe satellite recently launched by China? So it will all the three will be taken care of by the Einstein probe launched by China. With reference to the green hydrogen, consider the following statement: it can be used directly as a fuel for internal combustion. Okay, right. It can be blended with natural gas and used as fuel for heat of power generation. Right. It can be used in the hydrogen fuel cell to run vehicles. All the three are correct. Consider the following statement about the PBTG. PBTG resides in 18 states and 1 union territory. That is right. A stagnant or declining population is one of the criteria for determining the PBTG status. Right. There are 95 PBTG officially notified in the country so far. So it is 75, not 95. Illur and the Konda ready types are included in the list of PBTG. So here 1, 2, and 4. So C is the right answer. Which of the following are the objective of the National Nutrition Mission? National Nutrition Mission aims to create awareness relating to malnutrition among the pregnant women and lactating mothers, to reduce the incidence of anemia among the young children, adults, girls, and women. Right? Okay, so all the 1 and 2 are correct, 3 is incorrect. Then with reference to the foreign direct investment in India, which one of the following is considered the major characteristics? So it is the investment through capital instrument, especially in listed company. No. It is a largely non-debt creating capital flow. So this is the right option. Then with reference to the Swachh Sarvekshan award, consider the following. Swachh Sarvekshan is the annual survey of cleanliness, hygiene and sanitation in city and the town across India. Right. So community involvement and behavioral change in waste management are one of the few focus area of the evolution of the city under the Swachh Sarvekshan. No. Swachh Sarvekshan is conducted by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and the Quality Council of India as its implementing partner. 1 and 3 are correct. C. Then consider the following statement: the tableaux at the Republic Day parade reflect the country's cultural splendor and diversity. Right? The selection process of tableaux for the Republic Day parade is carried out by the Ministry of Home Affairs. No. So the Ministry, it is, so 1 is correct, but 2 is incorrect because this was the Ministry of. Okay. Thank you for watching. Keep watching regular to update yourself on a daily basis.